If your Express Entry profile score is low, if you think you have little chance of immigrating to Canada without an LMIA or very high CRS score, make sure you watch this video till the end, because there is a program called the Alberta Advantage Immigration Program, or AAIP, that can be one of the most realistic and accessible pathways to Canadian permanent residence for certain individuals. But here's the important part. Many people have heard of AAIP, yet they have no idea which cities offer better opportunities, what type of jobs are most valuable, how much age and language ability matter, how having relatives in Alberta can help, or even how much money they may need. First, let's see what is AAIP exactly. It is called the Alberta Advantage Immigration Program, or AAIP, which is Alberta's Provincial Immigration Program. This means the province of Alberta can select individuals it believes will contribute to its economy and labor market. Once you receive a provincial nomination, many immigration pathways become significantly easier, and your chances of obtaining Canadian permanent residence increase substantially. One important thing to understand is that AAIP is not only for engineers and doctors. Many Alberta pathways are available for truck drivers, skilled trade workers, welders, cooks and chefs, hospitality workers, industrial laborers, caregivers, and even certain IT professionals. I mentioned cities. Now let's see which cities offer better opportunities. This is where things get really interesting. Many people focus only on Calgary and Edmonton. However, several AAIP streams provide stronger opportunities in smaller communities that face labor shortages. Some examples are like Grand Prairie, Red Deer, Medicine Hat, Brooks, and other rural communities. In certain streams, especially the rural Renewal stream, being willing to live and work outside the largest cities can dramatically increase your chances of receiving a nomination. Why? Because Alberta wants to distribute population growth and labor resources across the province rather than concentrating everything in Calgary and Edmonton. In many cases, living just 1 to 3 hours away from a major city can make a significant difference in your nomination prospects. Now, let's see how important are language, age, and education. Let's be honest. AAIP is generally more flexible than Express Entry. However, that does not mean language, age, and education are not important. When it comes to language, many pathways require a minimum language level of CLB 4 or 5. However, for more competitive occupations and streams, stronger language scores can significantly improve your chances. Looking at age, unlike Express Entry, being older is not necessarily a major disadvantage. Even applicants over 40 years old may have good chances of receiving a nomination, especially if they have strong work experience, a genuine job offer, or established ties to Alberta. Next comes education. Some streams may accept applicants with only a high school diploma. However, higher and more relevant education generally makes an application stronger. Next, let's see how much do family ties and Alberta connections help. This is another area where many people misunderstand the program. Having relatives in Alberta can be a significant advantage. For example, a brother or sister, parents, or certain close relatives, if they are Canadian citizens or permanent residents living in Alberta, they may increase your chances under certain pathways. In addition, previous studies in Alberta, previous work experience in Alberta, a genuine job offer from an Alberta employer can all make your profile much more stronger and shine. Next question is, how much money do you need? One of the most common questions is whether AAIP requires substantial financial resources. The answer depends on the pathway. If you are applying through a worker stream, you will generally need to demonstrate reasonable settlement funds for your initial establishment in Canada. However, if you're applying through an entrepreneur or business stream, the investment requirements can be much higher. Depending on the specific program and business location, you may need hundreds of thousands of dollars in available funds. This is why it is important to understand that not all AAIP pathways are the same. The biggest mistake many applicants make is assuming that obtaining a job offer is enough. In reality, immigration officers assess much more than that. They examine whether the employer is genuine, whether the position is legitimate and reasonable, whether the applicant's work experience aligns with the offered position, whether the applicant genuinely intends to live in Alberta. Many applications are refused not because of missing documents, but because the overall logic and credibility of the case are weak. In conclusion, and to summarize this video, AAIP for some individuals can be an outstanding and realistic pathway to Canadian permanent residence, especially if you remain flexible, choose the right community, select the most suitable pathway, and build a well-prepared, professionally structured application. If you want to find out even more details about this program, click on the link in the description. And if you would like a detailed assessment of your eligibility for AAIP, feel free to contact us using the links also in the description. My name is Bahram with 15 years of experience in Canada immigration law. Contact me if you need any help. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe. See you in the next one.